we're always apologizing, even if we are aware or not.
Right.
We're always doing that. And there's no reason. You are who you are. God has created you the way you are. And that, like I tell anybody else, don't try to do anything that you're made to do differently like another person, because it's not going to cause the same impact as you would do it the way you're supposed to do it. Because the only way we can feel the impact, or the world can feel the impact, is if you do it the way you were created to do it. Anything else is going to be a waste. It's going to be a waste of time. And it's not going to have the impact that it needs to have. So you need to do it your way and stop apologizing for doing it the way you've done it. And one part of the book that I also talk about, I was like, as long as what you're doing is not devaluing anybody else and you're not intentionally there to hurt people, let people worry about their confusions about you. It's not your place to try to make people understand or try to, make them understand the confusion about you. It's their confusion. Let them figure you out. Yeah. In time, they're going to catch up. Yes.
Right. That's right. You don't owe anybody an explanation. That's absolutely correct. Right.
We're always apologizing. Oh, I'm so sorry for this.
Right.
But this is you.
Right. I love it. So one of the examples that in this book was, and it just reminds me of you actually, is this Wayne Dyer. You know who Wayne Dyer is, I'm sure.
I do, yes.
Yeah,
I do.
I knew you would. And he was in college, and he was working on his doctoral. And this professor had this, it was really hard to get into this class, but blah, 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 blah. So anyway, it was all about self-actualization, and he said, okay, now it's time for your midterm. What would a self-actualized man do if he went to a party and he was dressed in, he said, dungarees and a casual shirt, and everybody else was in suit and ties. And he said, this is your midterm, write a paragraph on it, and he walked out of the room. So these 7 doctoral students were all, and they're trying to put his spin on it because he's the teacher. And he walked in and he said, okay, I want you to get up in front of the room and read your paragraph. And one person said that he apologized for not knowing what the dress code was. And another guy said something else. And the teacher said, you could have summed it up in 5 words. He didn't even, or 3 words. He didn't even notice.
Yeah, his dress is not what he did. It's the person.
Right. And that really made me think. And then I read your stuff. I had read it before, but I reread it. And that's really what you are saying, but in a different way, that women should be self-actualized and nothing else should matter. Right. So how did you come to all these, like, these are universal truths. They're all, how did you come to these?
These are all experiences, like I said, I was married before, and I think God used my first marriage, as a means of, number one, drawing me close to Him, getting a clear understanding of who He is. And then in that time, while I'm getting to know who He is, I was also discovering myself, because to be quite honest with you, I don't think I knew who I truly was back then, some 7 years ago. I didn't know myself. So all these experiences, all these different things, and this is my thing. Every time I write, all these pieces of writing that I was able to put together, there were things that would come in different pieces, and I would share, because I'm very big on social media when it comes to, sharing my opinion and things like that. And these will resonate with people. And what I was realizing over these different posts that I was putting out there, they came from my own experiences, but I was putting them out there to see, okay, is it just me going through this, or other people are feeling the same way? And the responses I was getting, that was when I concluded this is not just me.
Right.
There are other women who are going. There will be times when I will put these posts out there, people will cut the screenshot the post and then send it back to me and say, you don't even know how this touched me today.
Uh-huh.
So this is how I was drawing the conclusion that, this is not just me. Other people, other women are feeling the same way and going through the same things. And so the more I will pour more truth after meditation, spending time, just praying and being quiet, and I will pour more things out there, I was getting the confirmation that these are truths for everybody out there. And so I collected all these experiences and wrote the book.
I love it. It's really wonderful. It's a beautiful thing. And it's so true. And that's what W4 Divas is all about.
Yes.
Our other motto is no woman stands alone, because we all, at different times in our lives, I'll grant you that, we go through the same things. It's the same emotions, the same heartbreak, the same.
We do.
Uplifting. And, and that's the thing as women, and men, bless their hearts, they do a good job of taking care of us and loving us. But our sisters are so vital to our mental health and our psychological well-being, because, I read this and I read these things that you wrote and I think, wow, she's
There's
talking
a
to
connection
me.
there,
Right. And we need to bond together and remind women that, you may be where you are and I may be where I am. You may be a fashion designer and I may be a coach and a radio show host. But wow, our lives are so similar, and our feelings are, and our thoughts. And that's why, and I love that you realized that you were saying truths, because people were going, oh yeah, me too. Yep, that's right. Yeah, I love that. So who are some of your heroes?
You mean like people?
Yeah, or whatever.
Okay. Well, like I said, God is like the number one primary for me. My mom was like the first woman. All these experiences I'm having now, or sharing with other women, she started it in me. But of course, when you have a mother and daughter relationship, it's a total different thing than when you have a peer to peer. So, but she's one of the people I look up to, because I was raised by a single mom. My dad was not in the picture, and all the strong foundations and everything is because of her. Being a businesswoman, everything was because of her. And of course, as I grew up along the way, there were some other people that I encountered who have also helped me to ride on. Oprah is one of them. And I was talking about Brainy. She's another person that I stumbled across because she did an interview with Oprah, and since then I've always followed her work.
How do you spell that name? How do you?
It's Brainy, Brene, with an accent on top of the E.
Oh, Brene Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, she's really good.
I love her.
Yes,
It would make
I
sense
agree.
that you guys knew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Keep going. I'm sorry I interrupted. I'm just so excited that's who it is. Keep going.
Yeah, and of course Maya Angelou is one of
yeah.
Yeah, I love her.
Really
so those are the women that I look up to, like, every time, even if I have listened to something that's said, or maybe a book that's written, I always go back and refresh myself with the whatever they said before, and interviews and being done before. So those are the women that I look up to. Beautiful.
And I'll tell you, those people you can't get enough of, and they do. That's a good word, refresh, because sometimes you just need your spirit refreshed. You know who else I dearly love is in Iyanla Vanzant.
Oh, I love her too.
Oh my gosh, she got me through some tough things. Yeah, she's wonderful.
Yeah.
She's one of my heroes.
Don't you think it's odd
Yeah, I
that you
love her
guys
too.
both listen to the same writers and the same people?
I know.
I'm telling you, we are
Yeah.
kindred spirits.
Yeah, you're with us now.
Yes.
And I can't wait for you to read parts of my book. Will you hand me a book? I just have to tell you this, and I'm not saying this to bring my book up, but I'm doing this to
That's
show
okay.
you how funny this is. Oh, and I opened right to it.
Naturally.
That's so funny. It's called Devolutionary Universal Truths.
Okay.
There is never any justification for domestic violence, is number one. Number two
Okay.
is dancing is good for the body, mind, and soul.
Yep.
Number three, a parent should love their child unconditionally and vice versa. And I think you're
Okay.
going to really like number four. Gravity and aging are not our friends and should be combated accordingly.
I like that too.
Yeah.
You are never too old to look your best, fall in love, dream, or learn something new or try a new recipe. Amicable divorce is an oxymoron. A female can do anything a male can do, but shouldn't. That took me a long time to learn to let men just do their
Do
thing.
thing.
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
that was a tough one. Never go grocery shopping or jean shopping on an empty stomach. You'll end up with stuff you don't want.
Yes.
A best friend is a precious commodity and should be treated with care.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's
and
true.
then there's little short stories. There's actually 26 of those, and then there's little stories that go along with all of them. And some of them are funny, and some of them aren't, but they're all true. Here's a good one. Wait, I want to find this one. Oh, here it is. The size, in quotation marks, areas of coverage of your bathing suit should be chronologically based.
That's a good one.
Fishnet stockings are not attractive.
No.
And that whole story is about how your flesh peeks through the diamonds.
I know, the little triangle.
I don't like it.
A diamond.
Yeah.
Oh.
So and some of the stuff that I write is she wants to be molded to stand out in the presence of others.
Just like
It's so
Yeah.
much like mine. I'm going to send you a book. I'll send you a book if you send me a book.
Okay, I will.
Deal? Good. All right.
Yeah, deal. Yeah.
Good. So, if you were to give some words of advice to an entrepreneur just starting out, maybe in the fashion business, what would you say to them?
I would say, first of all, to come and be unique, because fashion is always changing. That's key. So be unique, so when you stand out there, people can identify your work from all the different work we have out there. And keep following, not that you're changing a design, but keep following the trend. So if, the sleeves are all this summer or whatever, you're following along. You're not changing a design, but you're still keeping in line with what's happening in the market. Because, to be honest with you, people look for what's trending. So you always want to make sure you work your design into the trend, but still keeping your dignity and your identity in your design.
That's really good advice.
Yeah, you
Stay
have to,
trendy,
because
but
that's the only
true.
way they can see you and know this is your work.
I love it. What if you were
Yeah.
going to give advice to a single mother? What would you say to her?
I would give the advice that I would have given myself when I had my my children, and that is, this is not the end of it. Being single doesn't mean you're lonely and you're desperate. It just means that's your condition, and it doesn't mean that whatever everybody else is accomplishing you cannot accomplish, because you have the power to. If you allow yourself to, you have the power to. Because the reason I say this, or I'm giving this advice, is because a lot of times society looks down on the fact that you're not married as a negative. So you can't go that far. You can't accomplish this because you're a single mom,